Let me say this first. Let me say this.
Okay.
Let me put my disclaimer out here. This is for educational, informational purposes only. I am not a medical professional.
Yo, what's going on, world? You know who it is. The poor who didn't know it, man, and dig it. No, we gonna get it today, because, we've been rocking since the sandbox, you dig? So I already know classmate, ultimate detox coach. She finna come through and let us know exactly what it is that she does and how she goes about her routine and making us better. Because I'm a client too. So how you doing today, man?
I am well. How are you?
I am awesome.
Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for having me. This is the ambiance is just like very relaxing and yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean.
That's what I want it to be. We
Yeah.
have enough stressing us out on a day-to-day as we go about our lives. So if you can come to a serene place and receive a gentle way of detoxing your body so that you can relieve that stress, you can relax, and you can kind of go back and face your day-to-day, then I'm doing my job.
Yes, ma'am, she is, and trust me, she does what she do, and she does it well. But, for those that don't know, how about you give them a little insight about you and, where you are located and how they can get in contact with you, and we will circle back to this again. So y'all make sure if you don't get it now, you'll get it then.
Awesome. Well, I am Tanika Anderson, as he said, the ultimate detox coach. I have been doing this since at the very least 2012. So that's been at least 13 years for me that I've formally been helping people with their health. And you can reach me at theultimatedetoxcoach.com. I am also on Facebook and IG under the Ultimate Detox Coach. And but I've been helping people for a while through different modalities, right? Whether it's through blood analysis, which is a tool that I've used since 2012 to help people to become educated on their blood and to see what buildup is there, so then we can make the necessary recommendations in terms of how we can reverse some of that, because a lot of the symptoms that you experience are various ailments or particles that have built up in your body. So you need to release those, right? That's why I use the term detox. And also, I became a certified natural health professional in 2014. So I took additional classes in order to be able to help clients even further than just through that technology. So I started offering consultations. And then recently I've added lymphatic frequency detox to my list of services that I provide. And that is actually a gentle way of me helping you to detox on the table in terms of through massage techniques and different tools that I use, and actually helping you to do it versus giving you the information and then on the back end trying to get you to go home and do it, which most people don't follow all of that.
Right. I know.
I mean, we can lay on the table and I'm literally doing a detoxification method with you, whereas we're literally detoxing and I'm helping your body to release any excess fluid, any excess buildup and waste that has built up in your body, and we're releasing it and we're going from there. So I've been doing this for a while in different ways, have many stories, even my own stories.
Right. So what was it that got you into it? Let's go back to the beginning. We out here on the porch. We want to find out what was it that initially brought you into this spectrum, this journey.
Honestly, I will say for me personally, where it became impactful to me was about 2006 when I had to go to the doctor. They sent me to the doctor. It was a new doctor, so I had to fill out all the relevant paperwork, family history, your parents and things like that.
Right.
So I go and complete that, and on there, my mother had breast cancer about at the age of 37. So that was on the paperwork. So they sent me to go get a baseline mammogram.
Okay.
So I go to get the mammogram, think nothing of it. And it's like, oh, okay, you have dense breast tissue, so you need to kind of come back. We're going to go further. We're going to do the ultrasound. So they go and they do the ultrasound. And they leave me there. The radiologist is, looking at it in depth, goes out of the room. I was like, okay, does that seem like that's a concern?
Right.
And so with that concern, it's like, I'm on alert. And so they come back and she's like, gives me just a slip of paper and says like, hey, you have a complex cyst in your breast. So you just come back every 6 months to see if it changes shape or changes size. And that was the end of the discussion. And I'm like, that's all y'all gonna tell me?
You gonna slide me this piece of paper and say, hey, you got something in you. There's something going on in you, and you just come back at us in 6 months and we're gonna look at it then. And then we'll tell you if it's something you need to worry about in 6 months. But until then, don't stress, don't worry about nothing. Just keep going about your day.
Just keep going. And me, how I am, that don't work for me.
Right.
Look, I have an analytical mind, right?
Okay.
My background is IT. So I'm able to use that analytical mind, troubleshooting and things like that. I'm going to take it further than what you're telling me.
Right.
But back then, there wasn't as much information as there is now for people when it comes to applying things naturally. And so I'm looking and trying to find something. I mean, I never got any information, nothing even from my own primary doctor. So it was just like, if you're gonna do this naturally, you're gonna do this on your own. It's not that the medical community is not gonna give you the answers that you're looking for. Okay. I learned that then, and it was like, okay, I'm on my own on this. And so I was just believing that it was just gonna get smaller till it went away. And so I just started doing research and looking things up. And I've met a friend, and the friend introduced me to somebody that owned an organic juice bar at the time. Okay. And so I found out about just a natural supplement that I could take, and it was like, well, disease can not exist in a well oxygenated and alkaline environment. Oh, that's all I needed. That was confirmation for me.
Right.
So it sent me down that path, figuring out, okay, what do I need to change? Is there anything I need to change about my diet? What do I need to add? So that is what I did. And it was just all self-study for me. At that time, it wasn't like I went somewhere and got this information. I was just piecemealing things. And so as I learned more, I would just share a little bit here and there with my family. Okay. And so I really started helping myself and then helping my family. Okay. And it just kind of continued because I just did not like the fact that they left us out here with no real information. Right. We were just supposed to go to the doctors, and the doctors were just like the health gods. Right. And we were just supposed to believe and trust in them and what they learned. And the more that I learned, the more I know that they don't know. And I start realizing they really don't know anything about nutrition. They don't really know anything about how to make the body healthy.
They only know what they've been told.
That's all. But you start realizing what is sponsoring the doctors.
Right, the pharmaceutical companies.
And I have a background there. That's what I don't tell a lot of people. I have a background in the pharmaceutical industry. So pharmaceutical manufacturing.
Inside. So she got the inside, see what I'm saying? She got the inside to the inside.
Yeah, that's
the ultimate detox.
And in IT, I got a chance to see things. I got a chance to see the manufacturing process. I got a chance to see the QC process and them testing things. For those that don't know, QC, quality control. Okay? Yes. Right. My bad.
We're gonna keep y'all up.
My bad. But yes, I got a chance to be a part of that and to see that over the years. And it's amazing when you start going down that rabbit hole to see what's really going on the back end. But these are the medications that they want us to take on a day-to-day basis, and we want to rely on that. But you didn't get sick because you had a medication deficiency.
Okay.
You got sick because there was 9 times out of 10 there was some type of nutritional deficiency. There was some type of blockage that was causing your body not to properly absorb the nutrients. There's some inflammation that's blocking things. And then at learning about the lymphatic system, you start to realize that your fluids are the flow of your water system. Let's just call it to simplify things.
Okay.
That it's not flowing. So there's an interruption there. There's some type of blockage or some stagnation there.
Okay.
And so when you can get everything flowing properly throughout the body, then disease is not going to exist, right? Because
Right.
you need that flow in order for oxygen to get through to every part of your body.
Right.
So you can start understanding when there's breakdown, when there's pain, there's a blockage, right? When you have hardening of areas, when you have whether it's some type of joint pain, or you have these hardening areas of like nodules or cysts or boils or things like that, those are blockages that are just happening in the body. So, and even when you get into different diseases, there's some type of blockage there. So really you can simplify things, and my goal is always to get to what is the root of the problem. You know, most things will stay at surface level, right?
Right.
So if we stay at surface level, we just gonna throw some supplements at it, or we're gonna throw some medication at it, but it's never gonna address what's really going on.
It will continue.
Never go. Exactly. And even if, let's say you take medication for it, okay, I feel better, you know, my blood pressure is, you know, normal, all of those things, through that avenue, then you're really not addressing what's really going on.
Okay.
And my goal is to let's figure out what's really going on in your body so that we can truly make you healthy, right? You want to have a high quality of life.
Right.
And that's the goal. Like, while we are here, let's have a high quality of life. Let's not wait on the stiffness and the pain to set in. Let's not wait on the disease to set in.
Right.
And even if that's already started, can we reverse it? Absolutely. In many instances, they'll tell you can't, right? Or they'll tell you, let's remove this body part to resolve the issue. It's not. The issue is just then it's going to go to another part of the body.
Right.
Because you haven't changed the internal environment.
Right. So it's in 24 hours. You know, your blood has flown from it went from one side of the heart to the other side of the heart.
Yeah,
through the
entire body. You have your blood flow, you have your lymphatic flow, you know, you have the pump in terms of your heart when it comes to the blood, but you don't have a pump when it comes to the lymphatic system, you know? So if you don't have a pump when it comes to the lymphatic system, then how are you gonna cause all of that to flow, right? You need to move your body.
Okay.
You know, so we'll talk about the need to exercise, right? And we'll look at it more so from a vanity standpoint. Like, I want to look good, which I'm not, there's no problem with that. Hell, we all want to look good now.
Right.
But just from a health standpoint, because you need to encourage the flow of, let's say, your lymph water throughout your body. You know, and there's different ways and different exercises that you can incorporate, but that's what you want to do. You want to move your body. And so we'll have buildup of excess fluid, let's say in your thighs or whatever. And so, you know, it's like, I keep swelling, it's not going to go down. Okay, there's methods and things that you can use for that. So, you know, clients come to me for various things. I've had clients come to me for sinus issues. I've had clients come to me that we're working on in regards to fibroids. I've worked renal failure. I've worked on clients with helping that, with joint pain, what they would typically try to call arthritis. I've helped to alleviate a lot of those issues. I've helped to alleviate people with dealing with parasites, just a number of things over the years, right? And so that's my goal. You know, I just want to optimize their health just as I'm optimizing my own, you know, because this is what I believe in for myself and for others. You know, we want to be in top condition, even for my son, and working with my son with the eczema symptoms that he's experienced. And so we've been able to reverse a lot of that in terms of the flare-ups with doing this lymphatic frequency detox process.
Isn't it? You find that odd how all of a sudden all of the eczema just
Oh yeah.
It just came, and I mean, I don't recall. I mean, we had a couple of we was actually I was actually a couple of days when we were there. You know what I mean? I can't say about her, but I know I had a couple of days where I had played a little too hard. You know, and that grease from the morning rub wore off. So you know, I was a little ashy, but I still didn't have no blotchy skin or whatever. But now it seems as that is something that
it's very common. It's very common now. I mean, even the things that we thought adults experience, or you experience as you age much older. A lot of younger people are experiencing that, and even kids now. Even kids, they're diagnosing with high cholesterol and with diabetes and all of those things now, in addition to the eczema. Why is that? What changed, right?
Right.
And that's deep. I can't go into all of that here. Let me say this first. Let me put my disclaimer out here. This is for educational, informational purposes only. I am not a medical professional. So I want to make that clear. I am not. I am trained in the holistic practices, but do go see your doctor. I do advocate for that, and I can work as a part of your medical team, right? In terms of addressing things naturally to support that. But you do need to go and ask those relevant questions. I'm not going to tell you about any diagnosis. I'm not going to tell you what to do when it comes to a diagnosis. That's not my problem. My thing is let's address how to optimize your body, so you're not dealing with the stiffness and the weakness and the brain fog and the fibroids and the cysts, and you know that it develops on up to cancer. So that's my goal, is to help you with that. But I have to put that disclaimer out there.
Yes. Yeah, you heard it. I told y'all, man, she's square. She owned it. She is on it. So what are your thoughts on supplements?
I think supplements are great, but let me put this but out.
Oh, they say butt stink now.
The but with that is that people will treat it just as they would medication. And so if you're using that same mindset, you're just going to throw medication at it, then you're going to turn around and you're just going to throw supplements at it, right? And you're still not getting to the root of the problem. Right? And I still use supplements with my clients now. Don't get me wrong, I do. But I've had clients that come to me with a bag full of bottles.
Yeah, I take this one at 10, I take this one at 10:15, and I take this at 11:45, and I gotta take this one at 12:13.
Listen, I mean, and they doing the same thing. And I was like, okay, pause. Let's look at this. Let's take some of this back, right?
Okay.
Let's look at it holistically, and let's figure out, okay, maybe there are some that you do need to deal with and take right now, but let's see what we can do to restore the function in your body that you're looking for, that you need.
Right. So that the body naturally cleanses and revitalizes itself.
Absolutely, because that's what the body's doing anyway. So the thing is, your body is naturally doing detoxification methods. That's why we have the liver, the kidneys, the lungs, the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is key to all of that, in trying to remove that waste from your body. So if we can support that, the natural detoxification processes and pathways in the body, a lot of that would be alleviated, and then you would fill in what those nutritional deficiencies are. Right? So let's say with blood analysis, right? I do blood analysis. I sit with a client, I'll look at their bloodstream. And so I will see that maybe they have yeast and or fungus and or parasites. Now, before I would have just looked at it as like, okay, we need to address that. Let's get that out of the body. Now, because I understand the lymphatic system deeper, I can say, that means your blood and your lymph system are not flowing at the rate in which it needs to.
Okay.
So we need to encourage that flow, because when you have a well oxygenated environment, yeast, fungus, and parasites cannot exist.
That's simple.
It's simple. It's simple, but it's complex. So we need to encourage the flow. And when I'm doing the lymphatic detox process, that's literally what I'm doing. I'm encouraging the flow, and I'm doing almost like an electrical reset of the body, so that it will flow, so it will get that oxygen in there where it needs to go, into those various areas of the body. There's a blockage there somewhere, right? There's we have all these lymph systems. So let's say you've had a surgery. Let's say, for instance, with me, I'll use me always as an example because that's easy. I had a C-section when I had my son.
Okay.
So having that C-section, that's a cut. That's
Right.
a scar, but that's also impacting my lymphatic system, which is also then in turn going to cause some type of blockage there in my lower part of my body. So what do I need to do? I need to stimulate my lymphatic system, and I need to encourage it. So I need to do methods with that. So you think of people that have had that have been cut in other areas of the body, or they've had their breast removed, or they've had their gallbladder removed. We're removing a lot of parts of the body these days too.
Yeah.
So
what's the name of the game?
The what?
Operation. We're doing a lot of operating. Yeah, I could never win. I always hit the side. I used to hit the side on purpose. Yo, your turn.
So yes.
So it's a lot of that going on, but it then in turn causes further issues.
Right.
Because it's cutting into your system, and it's cutting into your lymphatic system, which is then going to allow toxins to build up and waste not to be removed, and allows you to become sicker. So, I mean, it has the opposite effect of what we think that it's there to help us with, right? It just helps with the immediate issue, but not necessarily the long-term health of the body, right? So we have to support that. How can we support that? And that's what lymphatic frequency detox does for you. It helps to support the overall body.
Okay.
Right? And so where can we minimize things? Where can we minimize things such as the medication, or where can we minimize the shots that they've given us, right? Those have, what they call side effects to them. Let's be real. Those have side effects.
Like all the commercials that the side effects is longer than the symptoms.
Longer.
You should think the commercial is 30 seconds long and 25 seconds is side effects.
Right. Every condition under the sun could potentially lead to death.
Right.
What? And this is what you want me to take? Okay. And it's amazing what I've even been able to do with my son, because that really is what took my practice to the next level when dealing with him and his symptoms, and was able to alleviate a lot of that through natural methods, and because I wasn't getting the answers that I was even looking for. And I no longer expect the medical community to give me the answers that I'm looking for anymore.
Right.
Why would I keep going to them and they're not going to give me that? That's insanity, right?
And doing the same thing. Yeah, you continue to do the same thing, it's insane.
Right. But you do need support. Don't get me wrong. You do need support. But there's a lot of natural health practitioners out there now who really all started taking this method because of a lot of things that were going on personally with them, or even with their children or other family members. A lot of them embraced this side of things because they wanted to be able to take care of themselves and their family. And so that's it. That's really why we do what we do.
Okay. So can you give us some, give us a overview of the type of services that you perform here at the Ultimate Detox Coach?
Sure. So as I said before, I do what's called blood analysis. And so this is an opportunity for me to educate you, right? I'm taking a prick from your finger of blood and I'm putting it under the microscope. And I'm literally going to be able to show you what is in your bloodstream at this particular point in time. So we're looking at a live sample, and then we're also looking at a dry sample. Dry sample gives more longer term impact and the amount of inflammation that's showing up in the body. And it could be a number of things, right? It could be heavy metal toxicity. It could be liver, yeast buildup, but because it's going to tell me that it's been there long term. It could be reproductive issues or digestive issues in the body. Also within the bloodstream, I'm looking at the buildup of what's like uric acid, which can be why you're dealing with pain. I'm looking at the amount of circulation that's going around. I'm looking at the flow in a live sample. And if it's very slow and sluggish, that really is ultimately telling me we need to encourage that flow through there. So, and a number of other things that I do when it comes to blood analysis. I also do nutritional consultations, and I can do that online with the clients. A lot of times, if you just answer a few different questions for me, then I can kind of gauge where we need to go. It would be better if you could see me in person, but we can at least start with online, and I can give you certain methods of things that you can do, at home, and to support your health when it comes to that. So I do those consultations, and I also, as I said before, I do what's the lymphatic frequency detox process. And so that's my newest line of services. And that's where I really help people with a broad range of things. So whether it's asthma, allergies, alopecia, pain, swelling, lymphedema. I mean, the list goes on and on. Because right then and there, I'm literally putting you on the massage table, and we're focusing on those particular areas. So with the lymphatic frequency detox process, I'm using a high frequency wand. And some people may be familiar with that when it comes to like an esthetician, right? And they think of it, and that's good, but that's just aesthetics, right? That's just the outside, the layer of the skin that you're helping with. This particular one has been patented to go deeper and to deal with the inflammation in the body, and where there's higher points of inflammation, it detects it, and it works more so in those particular areas of the body, because we need to alleviate that inflammation so we can get that oxygen through there so that it can properly flow. And so I've used the wand, I use the wood tools, I use a massager, and I also use the Himalayan salt blocks as well to support that. It's amazing how the body responds to just simply using those tools. And at various points of the body. So I can put it and use it on various points of the body, and it's gentle. So let me emphasize that this is gentle, and so much so that you can use it on children. So you can lay them down on the massage table, and you could just work with them with the salt. And so that you can help them to heal, because that's what's helped my son with his eczema, and why he hasn't had flare-ups in over a year at this point at all, through using that process. And like I said, help people before, even with sinuses, and opening them up so that they can actually breathe. It's amazing to see that. I've also had helping people with pain, and where they can walk in, they were still experiencing pain after a fall, and helping to open that back up. And just even, we can look at it even through body contouring, because even working the lymphatic system, you're going to contour, you're going to get rid of that excess fluid buildup that's in there, and help to alleviate that. And I've definitely heard people was like they felt great after they left, or they felt like their sinuses started to drain, after a treatment. I do before and after pictures with my clients as well, so that they can see the difference in their body when they leave a session. So it's various areas. So whether it's the sinus, facial, or body contouring, or we're working the abdomen area, or we're working, I guess you would say, disease specific areas of the body, I work it all.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. So what would you say to that individual that is skeptical? They're skeptical about the natural or holistic approach. They have drunk the Kool-Aid. They are colonized. And, my doctor didn't say I can do this, or I'm not gonna do this. What would you say to that individual?
What would I say to that particular individual? First and foremost, I'd be like, okay, this may not be for you. Let's be real. It may not be for you. And I would rather you not do something that you don't believe, because your belief is going to hinder the results anyway.
Yes, ma'am.
it's going to hinder the results.
Facts.
And we all feed off of each other's energy, and that particular energy isn't necessarily going to work in this particular environment.
Facts.
You know, you hoping and you wishing, but it's like you want to battle, you want to debate, and I'm not going to debate
With you, right? Because it's not a debate; it's your health. What
It
is
is
that
it.
to debate about? It is your health. So where's the debate?
Right, and that's not what I'm going to do. Now, if you come to me from an open heart, like I really want to understand, help me understand, that's a different space.
Right.
So when you're in that space, I can give you I can give you the answers that you're looking for. I can help support you, you know, when it comes to those types of things. So I would say come open, you know, because you're really trying to do something anyway. You're trying to take some supplements for something. Why are you taking the supplements if you don't believe?
Right.
You know, why? Are you trying to change your diet? You're trying to detox, right? You go buy those little detox liquids and pills and all those type of stuff all the time. You want to have a better health.
You do. We all do.
Don't come
But
over here
because you
if you're not ready.
Right. But you know, you're gonna always have individuals who just, like as you stated, they want to debate, they want to challenge whatever is said, just to challenge you. Because why?
Right.
Why you think you know everything that you know?
Right. And I you know, I will get that from time to time, right? Because doctors did go to school for many years to get the education that they got, right? I'm not going to deny that. You went for many years. But when it comes to nutrition and actually restoring health, a lot of them don't have that as a part of their educational background.
Right.
So what are you going to do with that? You know, you need to be educated on your body, on your health. You are your own doctor first and foremost.
Facts.
Then you go and get support from them. You have to monitor your health. You have to see, you know, pay attention to your breathing, and when something feels different, you need to pay attention to the foods that you're consuming, the drinks that you're consuming. We could get into the basics all day long of you don't need to consume a lot of sugar, or you need to drink more water, or you need to do this and that. We can get into all that, but who has to do that at home? You do.
Exactly.
You do.
It's on you.
You know, and people always want more energy, which I do hear people saying that after they leave off of my massage table, that they have more energy. But it's like you are the one that's wanting that, so you have to reach out there to achieve that. And I mean, I'm just here to support you with where you are and where you want to go, and we go from there.
What is this lymphatic frequency detox? What is it? What is the why to it? Why do I need it?
Awesome. So actually, when I came across this process, I wasn't even looking for it. It would just happen to be come across my feed when I was scrolling on social media. And so it intrigued me when I first learned about it, and it became I went down the rabbit hole, because I was like, as long as I've been doing things in the health arena, I hadn't heard anything about it. So lymphatic frequency detox process is stimulating the lymphatic system in a way that it removes blockages and stagnation from the body. So when I say that, I think about you need to remove it so you can get that oxygen in the body that I've mentioned before, and allow flow to properly allow the oxygen and the lymph water and your blood to flow properly through the body, right? And so what that allows to happen, well, let's just take it back. Let's say if you're in a river stream, right? You see the water as it's flowing in the river. And if there's a branch that falls into the water, that's going to impede that flow, right? And so the water has to try to flow around that branch that's in the water. But what happens behind that branch? A lot of trash kind of accumulates behind that. And that can tend to that slows down that flow in the river.
Right.
And the same thing happens inside of our bodies. And so what we don't necessarily know why that may happen, but that could be some of the foods that we're eating, or some of the chemicals that's in the food we're eating, or some of the chemicals that's in some of the supplements and or medications that we're taking, that's producing waste that's not being eliminated, which is causing it to slow down, and that lymph not to be able to flow and get that oxygen to the various areas of the body. So what I'm doing with that process is using the one and the other tools that I use is I'm stimulating those particular areas where there may be blockage, so that we can remove the blockage. Okay. So just like even in the river, we're going to take out that branch that fell in the water. We want to take out that branch so we can restore the proper flow.
Right.
So we're removing that stagnation or that blockage so we can restore proper flow to restore health to your body and allow you to really detox.
How do you tailor a service to meet an individual's needs, based on their age, sex, activity level, medical history?
How do I tailor their service? So what I do is basically I'm going to ask them questions, right? What have they dealt with? Or even going back to childhood, because you cannot disconnect parts of the body. The body operates as a whole. So I'm going to ask a series of questions. And in those questions, it kind of tells me where to go. And, sometimes you may want to deal with their immediate symptoms, right? And so, okay, if they're dealing with sinus issues right now, yeah, we're going to do probably a sinus facial, and we're going to go in there so we can open that up. And so I'll tailor it by that, right? And depending, it could vary in terms of how often or the frequency to which they need to come see me, based off of how extreme their symptoms are. So if they're typically you could come on average about once a month, but if you're dealing with extreme symptoms at that point in time, you may want to come bi-weekly. And so we can kind of address that and clear that up, because you don't want to do too much at one time, right? Because some people will take things and detox way too fast.
Right.
And it can lead to issues on that end of things. And so with that going on, we need to take our times in terms of how we address the body so that it heals properly.
How okay, say I come and I'm getting a service, and my progress stalls, or I'm not, I'm really not able to stick with this service. This service is just too much for me. Like, you go to a massage therapist and you ask for a deep tissue massage, and then they start going deep, whoa. So how do you adjust that to, ensure that I'm getting the proper service that I need?
Put it like this. Well, with this particular process on the massage table, it's a gentle process. So it's not really going to take you, it's not typically going to be too much too fast.
Okay.
And so I will use gentle methods with you while you're on the table, but it matters more so what you do when you're at home.
Right.
So we kind of couple those things together. And if it feels like it's too much, okay, then let's just back off a little bit. Let's see, tell me more about what you're doing home. I'm just going to ask a lot of questions. It's like I'm always trying to get to the root of the problem. And so we can back it off, but give me more. Tell me more about what you're doing at home, what you're eating, you're drinking, what is your day-to-day like? Are you dealing with a lot of stress?
Right.
Because people are dealing with a lot of stress right now. And what's going on even in your external environment. A lot of people don't pay attention to that too, because that is key. I've had clients that have come to me years ago. This was just for a blood analysis client. And as I asked him more questions, it had to do with the environment that he was working in, which was causing him to just have a lot of toxic buildup. I've had someone else that came to me that discovered in her apartment there was mold. It's things like that. So you have to just ask a lot of questions, and you have to pay attention to your environment as well.
Okay. So what realistic outcomes should an individual expect, from your services? Like you stated earlier in the conversation, you stated about, you see the what was the term you used? The sculpting, the body sculpting,
body contouring.
So body contouring. So automatically some people look at a commercial and think, well, I go one time, I'm gonna look like that when I get done.
Right.
And that isn't the case, because this is a natural, and you have to break down those fat cells to get down to the muscle cells in order to change the physique of the body.
Right.
So what realistic expectations should an individual expect from your services?
First, I'll say it varies from person to person, because you could see one person and they will get awesome results right after one session. And then you'll have someone else that comes and it may be a subtle shift with them after the first session. But it just really depends on your body. And so what we're going to do at that particular point in time is sometimes it may take 3 sessions for you to really feel it. But that means your body has more buildup or more waste buildup that needs to come out, and it's going to slowly release it. So, but that's really for your benefit. You don't want a lot of waste and toxins to come out at one time. Right. You don't. You want it to come out little by little. And so we'll adjust whatever aspect of the service that we may need to do. I may need to work more so in your hips one session, then I may need to work more so with your axillary nodes, which is around kind of your underarm area. So it varies, and so I kind of can help customize it and help direct what particular areas that I'm working on the body based off of your results in between those sessions and how you're feeling. A lot of them are typically going to feel well. You know, it's usually, out of having heard people, not anybody that have come to me, I haven't had them coming saying that they felt bad once they left a session.
Right.
Because typically, like I said, it's a very gentle treatment. So I will tell them that. Now, if they go home and they start taking other supplements, then okay, talk to me about that.
Right.
Talk to me about that. You know, look, it's a judgment-free zone, so we coming in like, just tell me the truth, then I can help you.
Right.
I can help you.
Right. Yeah, I know. I was.
When you look at it.
Yeah, I was. I'm like, man, that me.
Right.
I see me.
Right.
Like, oh, that's in my body. Oh, I need to take care of that. You know.
Yeah, I was smiling, y'all. I was smiling.
And some people get
Scared. It's nothing to be scared about, though. You know, I have had people who like, oh God, what do I need to do?
Yeah.
It's not like that. Because a lot of things that you will see in the blood, you can see before a person will even possibly get a diagnosis. Because I've had that happen before too. I've had a person that came to me and I told them, I was like, if you don't address this soon, they're probably going to diagnose you with something. And they did come back later and diagnose her with rheumatoid arthritis. So that's the thing. When you go and embrace these natural methods, you can really get more preventative measures, you know, when it comes to your health. But you can also do restorative on the back end as well. But this is true ways to prevent conditions from, you know, happening in your body. I've had people come see me just because, oh, my sister had a heart condition and I don't want to have that. What do I need to do? So I've had clients come to me.
Proactive versus reactive.
Absolutely. My mother died of cancer, and then I had another family member that died of cancer, and I don't want to get cancer. What do I need to do? So I have people that come to me with a host of questions, you know, when it comes to those things, and I welcome it and welcome to be a support. But I also tell them, hey, one, I need you to pay attention. What do you believe? And are you doing this out of fear? Because people don't realize emotions kind of play a major part in your health.
Yes.
If you're doing it out of fear, you really are setting it up where the condition can worsen. And so instead of fear, you know, let's take those steps and step in faith in what you believe, and let's believe, because it can be. You can restore your health. You don't have to. That's what it was for me, because when they told me I had that complex cyst in my breast, it reminded me of where my mother had been diagnosed with breast cancer at the age of 37. And it was like, am I going to go down that same path? And it was in that very moment when they couldn't answer those questions where I had to change the trajectory of my path. And I wanted to do something different. So I made a choice at that point not to allow that to be the case for me. And so I really embraced natural health from that standpoint, and I really became more of a believer in it as I as I went down this path, because I saw what was possible, and I saw the testimonials of people that were getting well, and I see the testimonials now of even clients that get well on my table.
Right.
You know, I had a call the other day. Someone was called. They had 2 sessions previously, have come back. They don't live locally, but they came back and was like, hey, I need to come back and see you. How is it that it does that? And because it's like, I'm not able to breathe right now, so I need to come back and see you. Come on back to see me. I said, we do need to do continuous sessions. I said, because this is something you've been dealing with for a long time.
Right.
It's not gonna go away overnight. If you've been dealing with this since you've been a child, don't expect it to go whole way overnight.
Nope.
That's a lot of waste buildup that's in there.
You got a whole lot.
Yes.
Whole lot of trash in you.
So it's like
Rubbing on my clients, and okay, there's a little hardened area. We need to take care of that. Oh, there's a little nodule right here. Okay, let's work on that. It's just so much going on in our body, and when people will change and they'll do different things, right? They'll start taking the supplements, and that's great, but it's not going to remove the blockage. You got to do something that's going to remove that blockage, and that's where I come in to remove that blockage. This is a daily journey. This is not just about you coming to see me or any other natural health practitioner. This is about the quality of life that you want to live. And it's your choice. It's ultimately your choice. I would love to be there as a support to you, or go to anybody else that can support you. But you have the choice. I can just remember growing up, and there's a specific person I remember. I was young. I think it was in high school. It may have been high school. And I remember we went to, there was some event that we went to, and it was an older lady at the time. And she's like, oh, I'm dealing with all this pain and stiffness. Oh, you're going to see when you get older. I said, no, I won't. And I can remember those instances in life where it was like, I wasn't going to accept it. That was me when it came to the area of health. I was not going to accept that as a part of my destiny. And you don't have to choose to do that either. Even if you're experiencing now, it can be restored. And I'm a believer in it. And if you are a believer in it, then I can support you in attaining that goal. Let's support you. Let's allow you to have a great quality of life while you are here on this earth.
Y'all already know, once they're out here long on the porch, won't hold nobody long. The ultimate detoxcoach.com, man. Get that classmate Tanika Anderson and get your service, because you know I'm a client. I believe it made me feel a whole lot better. You know, I can personally say that. So you tired of struggling, you tired of doing and going through the same routine that you're going through, and you ready to get off of that hamster wheel. Tap in with the ultimate detox coach and let her help you get on the way where you're trying to be, man. Until you get where you're going, be where you at, because you can't be nowhere else. Peace. Hey, thanks for the questions and the emails. You know, continue to send us emails at bangyourheadstudios@gmail.com. Also, check out the website, bangyourheadstudios.com, and check out some of the previous episodes that we've had out here on the porch and on various other shows that we've been on. Hey, I appreciate your support, and I look forward to getting your feedback, man. Again, keep sending in them questions, man. I appreciate you. Love.